What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Reality Report. It is me, your host, Craig Gatto. It is good to see everybody. I am sorry, we are still rocking and rolling and getting things ready for our new platform. I hope you guys can hear me fine. Let me get a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me fine. Um, been running around. It's been a crazy last couple of weeks, but I hope everybody's well, and it's good to be back here with you guys. If I get a thumbs up in the comment box, let me know you hear me okay. And we'll deal with the avatar for tonight, and we'll go over some things. What's been a crazy last 10 days. OG Ruby, what's happening? Absolutely. Thumbs up. That's good. That's good. Nikki, what's happening, my brother? All right. So let me just quick say, Ruby, what's happening? Davey T, Cinnamon, CG2, what's happening? Templar, what's up, bud? Always a pleasure. Matty Boy, what's happening? And Chris Trock, what's happening, my brother? Always a pleasure, my man. I'm always checking out your stuff. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Keep it coming, man. You're doing a great job, buddy. We got a lot to just try to talk through this stuff and get rolling. I hope you guys can put up with the avatar for tonight. I try to take it away from that fake tough guy look. You know what I mean? Joey, what's up, my brother? And we went to that little sign says 149th Street, and it should say 24th Road. Well, that's where I'm originally from. Well, not originally, but that's where I kind of raised my kids. So that's the Whitestone area of Queens. So without further ado, let's get rolling. So let me fill you guys in on, before we talk about what's going on in a few weeks from now, let me tell you what's gone on. And I didn't mean to talk in cryptic messages. I know that's what it seemed like on the community post, but it was too many numbers to call. And I know Tim, being Tim, he wouldn't have had a problem with me speaking to certain people and telling them what the deal was, but it was just so much going on so fast. Let me tell you briefly what's gone on. So last Tuesday, let's take it back to, we have a boxing show. It didn't happen on Monday, remember? We had a situation, so we had to cancel it from Monday to Tuesday. So Johnny Farinacci filled in, and Johnny being the man that he is, jumped in, no problem. Timmy wasn't feeling well. So Timmy gives me a heads up on Tuesday. I'm not feeling well. Didn't like how his cough sounded, whatever. No different than him being a friend telling me the night I had to get rushed to the hospital. My man Timbo is right there. Like if I was a kid, my man is with me for 6-7 hours talking to Nikki and the crew and my sons, and no, he's got to go to the hospital, and Timmy's there. Goes right from work, meets me at the hospital. So I didn't like how he kind of sounded on the phone. You know, the cough didn't sound good and whatnot. So we do the boxing show Tuesday. I told him Tuesday, I said, all right, after the show, like usual, Timmy would be the first to call, or me and Timmy speak. I'm telling you, honestly, between me, Timmy, Nick, and, maybe a couple others, but that's pretty much it. I mean, we speak multiple times a day because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Hi, Francis. How are you, dear? So I want to just try to catch you guys up to what was going on, and what seems like I was talking in cryptic messages. And you know what? We could laugh now, but it was total bedlam. on my part. So we do the boxing show last Tuesday night, but immediately I realized Timmy was going to call me and tell me how he made out at the doctor. B, at minimum, I know Timmy is going to call me like always right after the boxing show. Hey pal, here's what I think. Good show, not a good show, whatever his opinion is, he's going to give it. And God knows we love him for that. And that's, Timmy does, like I said, Timmy does a lot behind the scenes. So his opinion is important to us. Gerard, how are you, my friend? Always a pleasure to have you here. So I never get that call. So I called Nick. It might not have been that night, but it's in my head already. Did not hear from Timmy. That's how unusual it is not to hear from him right after a show. Plus, I already know he's not feeling well. Wednesday morning comes. Devil, how are you, bud? What's happening? So Wednesday morning comes. I reach out to Tim. No response. But no response to where it's that the text message is not being read and the phone call is ringing, but it's not like it's being hung up right away, like it's disregarded right away. And it's not like it's going to voicemail. So it's ringing. So that's unlike Tim. So long story short, I guess by Thursday now, by Wednesday afternoon, I'm reaching out to Nikki. I'm saying, Nikki, we got a problem here. I don't know what it is. There's something in my gut. It's not feeling right with Timmy. It's not like him. And at this point, it's only a couple of days. But he had already told me on Monday he wasn't feeling well. So I'm looking at it like, yeah, I haven't spoken to him in 2 days, but that's not like him. It's just not like him. So to the average person, what's 2 days? Nah, with Tim, 2 days is a lot of time with Tim because I speak, like I said, we speak multiple times a day. So now we get into Tuesday evening. Me and Nikki are going back and forth. I try to want to let you guys know, but it's still a little too early yet. It's 2 days. I can't reach out to nobody. There's nobody to reach out to. The last he tells me is he's going to the doctor. That's all I know. I didn't know exactly where or this, that, and the third. So now it takes us into Thursday evening. I really am sick about it. Like I'm truly sick about it. I just feel like something's not right. So I call, me and Nick talk it over, and I said, you know what? Let me do this thing they call a wellness check. See if we can get a wellness check. So now that's Wednesday night, late Wednesday night. Thursday morning comes. I call them back, of course. I'm not here to take a dig at nobody, but that's not what this is about. Really, it isn't. So I call the cops back, and that police department. And I tell them, whatever happened with that wellness check, you're going to do it, such and such address, such and such name, bop. Oh, yeah, by the way, we went to that address. It's the wrong address. Nobody's there. Okay. Long story short, I'm not going to get into an argument with them. The cop wants to argue with me that I'm giving him my wrong phone number. It's my right phone number. The guy's telling me what my number is. I'm talking to him on my phone, and he's telling me it's the wrong phone number. Okay. Long story short, I had to call them back a day later to find out that they already checked and no, Timmy's not there. And he's telling me it's the wrong address. Okay. I'm not going to get into all the arguments with him and this, that. That's really not the point. Bottom line, Timmy's still nowhere to be found. What happens is now it's late Thursday night and definitely 3 days. There must have been a lot of texts. There was many texts from me and Nick at this point. Many phone calls. I never leave voice messages. Now it's to the point where a couple of voicemail messages are left. And I'm telling him straight out, Tim, if you're seeing this, I need you to know we're concerned. I already called a wellness check, and I'm getting ready to do the unthinkable, and I'm getting ready to call in a missing persons because this is not Timmy. This is not him at all. In no way, shape, or form is this Tim's behavior. He's that guy that if he tells you he's going to call you in 3 minutes, he will call you in 2 minutes. So when you don't hear from him for 3 days and you're used to hearing him, multiple times during the day, it was an issue. And he wasn't feeling well, and it was very hot. It was very hot. So Friday morning, Thursday night comes, it's after midnight. I call in that missing person. So it's really from Tuesday morning to midnight Thursday. After midnight, I call for the missing persons. We can't locate them anywhere. Can't get them. There's no finding them. I think at this point, I put up a little post or something, or it might have been Friday. I put the post up, and I just was trying to say, folks, we didn't cancel Jimmy's show due to a YouTube issue because we've been having nothing but YouTube issues, and we'll get to that in a minute. Roy, what's up, my brother? Roy was one of the gentlemen. He knew we were on the phone as well. He kind of knew what was going on. And so we get to the point with the missing persons. Call that in. Go to sleep probably about 3, 4 in the morning, which is Friday morning now. And me and Timmy we're beside ourselves, like beside ourselves to the point where, and well, you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. There's just, we were trying so hard to find something good that could come out of this. And the only thing that we could see something good would be in a situation where possibly he got taken to the hospital and he lost his phone, or he doesn't have a phone. And, in today's world, nobody memorizes a phone number. So that's the only reason. Well, what happens is, it's really, I really truly don't believe with our community, Tim is going to have an issue with this at all. That's why I'm going to explain it a little bit. But I wanted you to understand I was not trying to speak in cryptic code. It's just, there was a lot, and I did not really know what was going on. So I couldn't guesstimate anything. So now we're Friday morning. The missing person gets called in. Me and Nick are on top of it. At this point, I think Cinnamon Girl might have known something. I might have given her a heads up on Thursday what we were dealing with and the concern. And there was a lot of concern due to the heat, his coughing, and there was just a lot of concern, and just Timmy not being Timmy and picking up, making that phone call. It's not what he does. And so Friday night was a late night. Thursday night was a late night into Friday morning. I probably wake up, I don't know, it's about 10:30 in the morning, and I see a text message from Timmy's phone number. I said, oh, my God, somebody's got his number. So I'm half asleep, and all I see is, man, you won't believe what happened. So I'll explain it real quick, and then when he's feeling well enough to grace us with his honor, my partner, Timmy the Irishman, besides Nicky telling him he's going to get some beating from us, he's gonna. We love him. We miss him. Everybody else could get in line and give him a smack too for giving us a worry. But what happens is Timmy wasn't feeling good. And I remember, Danny, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, pal. Timmy was telling me, one of the last words I forgot to tell you guys was Timmy was telling me how weak he felt. He felt terrible. He felt very weak. Besides all of the other coughing and everything I was hearing. What happens is Timmy goes to walk to his car. That particular day, if you guys remember some point last week, every day last week, it was like crazy humid in the Northeast. So he walks to his car. I don't know I don't want to make this more dramatic than what it is, but what happens is somehow, some way, I believe Tim collapses in the car. But while he collapses in the car, I don't know if he hit it purposely, hit the OnStar, or by mistake he hits the OnStar button and actually speaks to them. That part I'll let Tim explain. I don't want to make this, But anyway, the OnStar gets ignited. I don't know if there's any conversation at all, or they just tracked the OnStar to where he was and they locate Timmy. He's at this point collapsed. He has a collapsed lung and he's suffering severe case of pneumonia, and he's battling in this extreme heat. So we could imagine if they, the worst scenario is if they don't, he doesn't hit that OnStar button, he collapses in the car. in that heat, I don't know how much too long anybody has. So, long story short, this will explain why Tim had nothing but tubes down his throat and could not reach out, even if he wanted to speak to me or Nick or anybody to say, hey guys, I'm okay. He couldn't. He couldn't speak. He was sleeping. He was weak. He was knocked out. So even if he was up, he could not speak. He also at a point didn't have his phone. Long story short, that was the situation with Tim. I didn't know, in no way did I mean to ever speak in cryptic, but you know what, folks? Everything was happening so fast. The worry was real. We care about Tim, as we all do, and everything. I remember saying, I think it was to either Cinnamon Girl or to Nick. Me and Nick had spoke about it a lot. Davey, I think at one time I said, Davey, you get a chance, give me a call. I was truly sick. Like, I couldn't believe what was going on. Like, I was sick to my stomach. Like, I just couldn't believe this was like what was going on. Like, just 1 second you talk, and that's, again, I don't want to, he's doing great now. Thank God he's doing great. He's recovering. It's going to take a little time, but Timmy's going to be back with us, cracking jokes. I'm gonna make sure I give him the gym. I'll do the whole Jim from Taxi. Hopefully somebody else finds it funny. And I hope he's not watching right now, because the last thing I do is need him laughing. But it was just a crazy week that just flew by, and there was no answers. But God is good. We got the answers, and he was found, and he was brought right to the hospital. They were able to get working on that collapsed lung, and get him the rest that is well needed. That being said, that's great news. I wanted to try to explain that to you guys, because I was getting some messages like, maybe I don't want to say people were getting aggravated, but I can understand the frustration if you didn't understand what was going on. But try to understand, folks. I really, even right now, I don't have Timmy's okay to be talking about all this stuff, and I'm doing it because you know what? I think he cares enough about I know he cares enough about our community and our chat crew and everybody else that care about him. So it's, I just didn't want to put it all in a text message. There was too much to put. So I knew we'd eventually, God willing, get to this point, and it'd be great news. And that's what it is. And he's all rested up, and he's doing well. Tonight I really came on, to clear that up, to let you know Tim is doing well. And I really wanted to tell you things are progressing kind of quick. We're going to make our move, folks. Due to so many reasons, we're going to make our move to Patreon. And folks, guys, you got to understand, there's a lot that we don't want to deal with the YouTube bullshit. It's not about me packing my bag and not liking a good argument or a good fight, but you know what? Every other angle, there's something else. There's a lot of things. Maybe it's me I don't agree with, and I just don't have the stomach to want to be arguing with everybody, because I don't believe in arguing. I just want to go to another level right away. And that's not good either. Too old for this shit. So, you know what? We're going to go to Patreon. I get it. Some people are going to say, well, you're not going to get anybody there. Guess what? What we have coming up, whoever's going to come in, I pray it's our crew. We're keeping it as low as possible as we can, as low as possible. So I think we start out at $5 a month. There's shows there that are at $20 a month, $25 a month, $50 a month, whatever it is, crazy numbers. That's their business. God bless them. Let them get whatever they got to get. But we have a lot of stuff coming up interview-wise. I believe we do have a decent amount to offer, a good amount. I don't want to sound cocky. And I have a good understanding on who's going to come with us and who doesn't, who's not. Now, we'll still keep our YouTube thing. We'll come back, but I'm not going to play the game, folks. I want you to know this. We're not going to play that game that everybody plays, where we're going to do little teasers here and let you know what you're missing there. No, we're not going to do that. Whatever's on Patreon will be on Patreon. And we'll only keep the YouTube thing just to break chops and have some fun with. Maybe we'll do the 80s show. We'll keep that here on YouTube. We'll have fun with that, or whatever it is decide. I just want you guys to know, we got a month or so. We're gonna do it the end of July. We're gonna make that move. It makes sense for us, from a content standpoint. It makes sense for our guests, for the people we have lined up. To me, it makes sense for our chat crew. Now, somebody could say, well, why does it make sense to the chat crew that, you're asking them now to pay $5 a month? I did everything I could for nobody to ever pay 10 cents a month. And YouTube had just monetized us and is going to monetize us again. You know what? If you're going to pay anywhere, let's pay the $5. If you're going to pay anywhere, if that's the decision that you want to come and see these interviews and see whatever and stay with us, pay the $5 a month. Come over to Patreon. It's downloaded free. You get Spotify, I believe. You have to look into that as part of Spotify. And why give it to YouTube? I'm not going to worry about every 2 seconds we're getting shut down, shut off. We can't do this, can't do that, can't do this, can't do that. So between a much better streaming service, which is not Patreon, it's doing away with StreamYard. We now have a company called Riverside we'll be dealing with, where I told you about we could do the live-in calls, so people could call live in instead of putting in a chat box. You could still do it that way, but you'll be able to call in live and take questions that way. We'll have a very structured program over at Patreon, and we'll still keep somewhat of the YouTube. Yeah. There's still some things. The reason why we're doing it for the end of July is it still gives us a little time to work out the kinks, as far as like thumbnails and stuff like that. I'm not even sure we have to drop thumbnails anymore. It's a basic link. And you know what? The way this started out real small, and we had 1 subscriber, and then 2, and then 3. We're never going to be. This isn't about, folks, guys, this isn't about us making money. This is not about us making money, the $5 a month. If we get 25, 30 people, say we got 40 people, that's going to pay for our streaming services and everything, because everything costs money. So the content, we're not paying for content. We don't pay for content. We don't pay for interviews and stuff like that. There's some people that do. I'm not saying we're special. I'm just saying right now we're not able to. 1, B, thank God we have enough people that, I don't want to sound cocky, but they're all, are able to help in that area where we can get some really great people to come on. So I'm scheduling everything towards the end of July and gearing up for July 31st. We'll just use that. I think it's July 27th, but I'll get you the date and the exact day we switch over. Now, this channel will still be up unless they take it down for whatever reason they don't like that I say tonight, and that's fine. But I just want you guys, I want to keep it 100% with you guys all the way. We looked it over very hard over what people are charging at Patreon. And I understand there's some people over there, it's a business. I get it. To us, it's not a business. We're just trying to get by. We're just trying to get enough people to where we can put on our good show and keep our chat crew. Now, I hope there comes a point where for the people, for whatever reason, can't afford the $5. I think there's 3 tiers: $5, $4.99, $6.99, $7.99, or $8.99. Now we had to do a 3-tier thing. Most of the other shows are at. You just got to look them up yourself. You'll see it. Most of the other shows are at $15.99, $22.99, $27, whatever the numbers are. We try to make it as affordable and cheap as possible, to as cheap as we can make it, to where they said that's as cheap as you can go, and that's really it. So that's what we did. That's how we came up with $4.99, which is called Community Friends. Baywatcher, it's no big deal about the wrench. I'm sorry if you feel that way, bud. There's a rat. Your wrench was not lost. Everybody, a lot of wrenches were gone. We're cleaning out the channel. As you could hear, I'm in the middle of announcing we're going to be leaving you too, bud. But If there's a way I can, if I don't have my phone next to me, I'm not in the place where I usually do the filming, where I usually do the podcast. But you'll get your wrench back, bud. You got it. All right. It was we were cleaning up the channel a little bit, kind of like auditing our own channel, right? That's what we were doing. Nah, not in a million years, bro. Come on. You don't know me well enough. You can't pick up the phone and say what's on my mind. You know you can do that. There's no guessing game with us, brother. You know that. I hope you know that. You should know that by now. Anyway, but that's the deal. That's why we're moving to Patreon. I'm not going to worry about, I can't say this, I can't say that. Now, there's a lot of people, have a lot to say. We won't get 2 people. We won't get 3. All I could say is we'll see. You know what? Guess what? We'll either have great guests speaking to nobody, or we'll have great guests speaking to our chat crew. And that's that. And I just wanted to make that clear. So we're not jumping over to Patreon till the end of July. In the meantime, we're still going to keep. Yeah, Bay, we're good, brother. We're good. In the meantime, we'll figure out what it is that we're going to keep here on YouTube. Although, me personally, I don't want to deal with YouTube at all. It just brings up emotions for me. Like, it's a good thing I don't have people's addresses. I'd be in a lot of trouble. But no, all kidding aside, I'm being sarcastic. I'm joking. Maybe I'm not. You guys know. But nah, we come here to relax and have fun. And you know what? That's what I have to say about. I'm not trying to sell shit. I'm not a salesman. But guess what? You know what is good about Patreon? I get it. It's whatever it costs a month. I get it. We're going to be much cheap. We're going to be 90% cheaper than anybody else. That's one. And what are they really talking about? They're talking about shit. They're talking about garbage. They're talking about the same garbage they're talking about here on YouTube. We're not going to do that. I'm telling you, we have a lineup of guests that will continue. Guest after guest. Yeah, our channel was demonetized a few months ago. And I don't want to keep getting into that. I don't want to bore you guys. But the freedom of speech ended a long time ago, I guess, Francis, in this country. But you know what's amazing through all of this? We had this crazy. It's funny. You guys are gonna laugh. This is funny when you think about it. That little troll, FBI without a badge. That's what he is, a troll, a gnome. I believe everybody should have him around on their Christmas tree around the holidays because he'd make the perfect ornament. That Kevin Marr guy, FBI without a badge. So he did some yapping about people in my family and this, that. They're all, listen, everybody he talked about would whip his ass. There's not even a question in my mind. They kick his ass. So it's not even about that. But the things and the thumbnails I said about him, not a soul came knocking at my door. They should have been. The things I said to that guy. And well deserved, by the way. Well deserved. But do you know what they did care about YouTube? They cared less that I told this guy I wanted to step all over him, honestly, and make him chicken noodle soup. They didn't care about that. You know what they cared about? Terry, how are you, babe? You know what they cared about? They cared about that I used a hip-hop song that's copyrighted. That's what they cared about. So we got to pick and choose, right? So what's good about, in my opinion, what's good about when we get over to Patreon, whoever joined us, and I pray a good amount do, and we'll do our best we can that when we get a couple people subscribed and we get up a little bit, the people that we need to, if we can help get a month, a year, whatever it is, a few months subscription, we'll do that. Of course we'll do that. But in the beginning, we have this new streaming service we're using. We got Patreon, which is free. It's no different than us, a content creator, going to YouTube. It's just that we don't have to deal with the bullshit. So whoever comes to Patreon to watch us is there for us. So you'll get your own private link as an audience member, and then you'll get your own private link, whoever wants to be a guest that night. And, some other things, we'll do like a once a month, depending on, I never want to separate things, but the way they structure it, you tier them. So yes, we're going to do We're going to be doing our football. We're going to be doing everything. We're going to be doing everything and more. The question is, BX, what I'll keep at YouTube and what I won't. I really don't want to mess with YouTube at all. I'm at the point where, honestly, like, I know it's a bad attitude to have, but it's like the attitude of, it's going to sound bad, like they don't deserve us. They don't deserve the guests we have coming. They don't. They don't. And none of these little punk troll mutts deserve to see them either. They don't. So whoever is kind enough to pay whatever it is, and again, we're not, I don't know what the percentage is, but we made sure we're much, 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 much cheaper than anybody else who's talking the same nonsense that they talk on YouTube. Nothing. They talk about nothing. Okay? That's not to knock nobody, but they don't talk about anything. We're talking about something. We're going to be talking about things. Okay? So if anything, the show will get more intense. That being said, yeah, we're going to move on. I believe we have the right. I'll get certain things right. Now that we're connected with Spotify on the Patreon end, we'll be able to use music. We'll be able to use some things at our disposal. So, basically, yes, Davey, it's $4.99, I think, for the first tier. Then we picked another tier of $6.99. That includes, like, we had to do it. We had to split it up three ways. So, and then it's like $8.99. But I don't expect, listen, we get everybody to join the 5, whatever it is that you join. If anybody does join the $6.99 one, I think it includes, like, you have to make them different. So it includes like a webinar type thing where everybody, once a month, we get to shoot the breeze, just whatever. Listen, you check it out, you see what you like, and whoever's in is in, whoever's not, I get it. You'll get it, but we're not going to do that whole teaser game. Well, here's what we're going to do here and give you a little tidbit and then tell you, come and join us over there because here's what you're missing. No, we're not going to play that game. We're not going to play that game. And you know what? If we only get 4 people, 5 people, guess what? I'm used to that. We'll talk to 5 people, but Freddie said it, right? The show must go on. So the show's going to go on. The show is going to go on. We have really good things coming, but I wanted to get that out of the way. So we're looking at the end of July, and I will definitely not let you guys know the day before. I will get out a mass email or I'll put it in a community post of when we're going to make that move. Now, that's another problem. Look at how many people don't get our community posts. Think about that. How many times we're told, Craig, I didn't get that community post. I didn't get a notification. This goes on all the time, and that has nothing to do with StreamYard. Nothing to do with StreamYard. Bay? Francis, the notifications have nothing to do. Michael, how are you, bud? They have nothing to do with StreamYard. The notifications. And I'm told people with iPhones don't get notifications. What? 2024, you're telling me people with iPhones, Apple, the highest selling phone, more so than Android, I believe. I don't have the statistics. I'm going to take an educated guess here. Right. They're not getting notifications. Anyway, we're rocking and rolling. We're moving forward. Listen, our goal is, honestly, if we could get 20 to 25 members, to come with us from day one, it gives us a month or so. If we can't, we can't. We're still the show's going to go on. The show is going to go on. But at least it gives you guys an idea. When I send out, what I'll do is I'm going to send out that by the end of next week, that puts us, the last week of June, I'll send out the page. It's a link for you guys to go check out the page and the setup we're going to have over there. And it just basically tells you about, kind of like the about page and what we're about. And I might even have on there dates, and because I want to start it off with a bang. So the first night we're on Patreon, I want it to be an interview that will remember. You guys will remember. I want it to be a really good one. Now, what I consider a big one, you guys, some might not consider a big one. So, I think we'll be in consensus. This will be a good one. As far as like a well-established name. Now, to me, and to some others, sometimes substance is what it really should be about, not about a name. But this person has plenty of substance. Primo, what's up, my brother? Plenty of substance and a name and a fierce reputation. Him and his whole family, as a matter of fact. So we're psyched. You got it, Davey T. You got it, Davey. But I didn't make the profile public yet because I wanted to make sure everybody, whoever does want to join us over there, will have access at the same time. Again, when you take a peek at, I don't know what, I'm new to it, so I don't know what. I just looked at some other people's prices. I said, no. I want to make it affordable to everybody. I want to make it where you're not really feeling it. And for those that truly do want to see the show and for whatever reason, listen, man, I've been there. Shit's been tight, tough. I get it. Whoever needs, some help, whatever we got to do to make things happen, we'll try to make things happen. So we keep our chat crew together one way or another. And I understand, hey Nick, and I understand that it's going to take time, but we're making a move. I want to get out of this cesspool. I do believe that. I'm okay with saying that. I feel that way. I don't want to be around or stand for nothing. I don't want my name on nothing that I don't like anything that's around it. And that's not that. Of course, that's a blanket statement. That's not everything. That's not everybody. Just unfortunately, the way I see things moving is much worse. Imagine that, much worse than what I saw 9 months ago. And that's just, again, subject to opinion, right? Subject to opinion. Again, some things in our lives are non-negotiable. Well, this is becoming one of them for me. YouTube, getting the fuck off it. So anyway, we'll be heading over there, and I'll get you guys all, Tracy, how are you? All that stuff. Good to see you. All that stuff. Get you that information. And then we have to figure out, Davey T, maybe we could have a talk. You got my number and stuff like that. Through Riverside, because I'm going to get rid of, I told you we got rid of StreamYard. We're using them right now, but when we set up a Patreon, we're going to be going strictly through Riverside, which I love. I love the setup. It's awesome. The live call-ins, the teleprompter if we need it. I'm getting old, so I forget bullet points. You don't forget shit. You could just put them into there. Not that I need a teleprompter. I don't, but I like to go off. I like wing it anyway, but sometimes you forget things and you want to ask a question and you forgot it. And that's the main thing you wanted to ask, and then you're pissed off. Oh man, that's the shit I wanted to ask, especially when it comes to the football season. And I start taking my football notes. You guys are nuts. I am with that shit. So, but that's that. I wanted to, I don't want you guessing. Nick is fine. Timmy's fine, rather. Nick is fine. God bless him. I said his name. Everybody in the chat is fine. God bless you. So I'm happy to see that. And we're going to be moving. The end of the month, end of July, we'll be hitting Patreon. We will keep, again, I'll say it one more time, we'll keep the YouTube. I don't know for what. Thank you, David. Just an FYI for anyone. Yeah, and I'm sorry, guys, I can't put the how I put the messages onto the real screen. I'm working off a tablet I usually don't work off of. So yeah, Nikki. Yeah. Getting out of here. And for a lot of reasons. Just the cesspool of stuff. I just don't want to, I got when you got a 70-something-year-old guy talking about your mother and your disabled daughter, that brings up emotions from my sons. I don't want to see. We're talking nonsense here, and it's not smart. It's just not smart. So it's better. No, and it's not about. Listen, I'm still gonna stay here. I just most of the stuff won't be here, but I'm not gonna do what a lot of people do. They'll give you 5 minutes of a clip they're showing at Patreon. There's no need to do that. If you hear we have a guest at Patreon, that's the guest. I'm not going to show you a 5-minute clip. That wouldn't be right. I think that's bullshit. Why would I show you a 5-minute clip? What, to try to convince you? No, if I tell you so-and-so, we have, a calendar that goes out. That's what my plan is. We want to be professional about it. I want you to have a calendar. Everybody to have a certain, like a rock band. I've said this before. How they have tour dates? Well, if we have a certain amount of interviews coming up, besides a certain amount of shows that we do regularly, well, the interview stuff, I'd like for you guys to all have, whoever belongs to the channel, have a date. A date and time of when those interviews are. More on a professional thing. Yeah, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Listen, we got monetized, demonetized all in, I think we broke the record all in the same day. So, you know what? Again, through all of that shit with that little troll that I told you, everybody should have him on his Christmas tree for Christmas. He'd make a perfect ornament. I mean that when I say that. They didn't care about none of that. All they cared about is that I used the rap from Jadakiss. He's a rapper. And Dust in the Wind from Kansas. That's what they cared about. They didn't care what I said about him personally, about what I want to do to him personally. And again, I'm confident my mother would whip his ass and my daughter would whip his ass. Forget about men. This guy can't deal with men. Come on. Come on. Any man that needs to call an 80-year-old woman, how tough is he? How tough is that 80-year-old man? How tough is that man that needs to call an 80-year-old woman? Come on, he's not tough. Come on. He's the worst kind of punk you could imagine. If there's such a thing. Imagine the worst kind of punk. Anyway, I hope everybody's well. Follow the money. There you go. Francis, how's everybody? Is everybody good? Everybody's good? How's the heat? Where everybody is nice and hot where you guys are? Davey T, how's it up there? I know AZ is hot, huh? AZ is hot, bro. The big AZ is hot. How's Boston treating you, David? Well, it's all good, man. I just wanted to, come on tonight, give you an update, let you know how Timmy is. Again, I'm working off this freaking tablet. I can't stand it, but I felt it was important. I come on, give you the stuff with Patreon. I'll put that page out there. Figure sometime next week, mid next week, I'll get the page out there, and whoever would love to have, whoever I can't, again, you look around, you'll see how affordable we try to make it compared to what everybody else is doing. And we're not everybody else. I get that. Maybe somebody doing something great over there. Maybe somebody is doing nonsense. That's not for me to decide. But that's it. We know what we got coming up. We know we want to keep the same crew if we can. We love you guys. We want to keep it that way. And again, we'll keep one of the shows here. So, we'll keep one of the shows here. We'll decide, I'll give it, I'll ask Jimmy, you want to stay, whatever. But one of the shows where everybody seems to enjoy the music and the talk stuff. So we'll keep that here. It's not like, going away for good, because there's part of me that still wants to deal with the lunatics and the craziness and Bob the Builder and the Amish Godfather. I've heard so many great names for him. Oh, yeah, Ruby, you on the tablet too. Francis, yeah, the Amish Godfather. That was a great one. Oh, that was a classic. You got so many classics. Oh, they're great. But that was it. I just wanted to hop on tonight. Yeah, crazy. I know, but Hunt 6, that's nuts. That's nuts. But that's nuts, man. And I'm bitching over here. It's 96, whatever it was. It seemed today was cooler, but it was humid. But I ain't complaining. But that's that, brother. CG2, I'm glad everything's great with you. I'm glad everything's on the up and up. Francis, I'm telling you, this is not just words. We're gonna be structured. It's gonna be no rush. We're gonna do, whether it's interviews or our show. We're gonna have a good time. that you know I like to have a good time and laughs and break chops. You know that. So I'm working on that now. CG2. I know we're hooked up with Spotify. It automatically comes 1 and 1. So I could just briefly tell you. I don't want to say yes without a yes, but that's offered. I believe that is offered where you could use anything on Spotify becomes like a package, a type of thing from a content creator standpoint. So if that's the case, we're gonna have some wild 80s parties, and you'll be seeing me roller skate in the studio. We'll be roller skating live. All right, we'll be breaking it down live. All right, but yeah, we're all good. But we'll continue. I got to give Jim a call tomorrow, and I would imagine we'll probably go with Friday's show just the same. And then again, I'll clue you guys in next week, put the page out there to everyone. If whoever is able to sign up, that's great. Absolutely, Nick. Absolutely, we'll do. And we'll get that going this way. Whoever's when we're ready to rock and roll and open the doors over at the Patreon. We'll go into, at least some will be there for the first interview, hopefully more than some. But, again, this isn't a business. Now, I want to share this with you guys as well. Whoever we have on, and I don't want to go through the names because that's just names, right, until they're there. But there will be names on this show with brands. So what we were thinking, rather than sell our own brand of T-shirts and this, that, and the other thing, well, a nice way to offer our guests and thanking them for coming on is to offer their stuff. I'm going to use this as a for instance. Let's just say I have one of the Gracies come on and we're talking jiu-jitsu, all right? Or we're talking Miss Martial Arts. Well, maybe we'll have some Gracie shirts to give away for sale, whatever, not to beat nobody over the head, where all of a sudden T-shirts are being sold for $60. No, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And there's plenty of other things. I'm friends with Ray over at Longo Weidman MMA. And, Ray's got 5 fighters, and they're all always seem to be fighting for a title or champions at one time or another. So we're going to get a bunch of stuff, and then maybe we'll do something with our own. I don't know, but you know what? Merchandising is down, it's far from my mind, but maybe somebody does want that Gracie T-shirt or that Longo T-shirt or there's some other stuff that we're going to be doing, you'll see, that have brands, whether it be on the musician end or actor end. But again, we're moving in the right direction. And I guess there's only one way to find out, right? And that's to find out. But I wanted to pop on tonight and just let you know what's going on with that. And Timmy's okay. We're okay. You guys are okay. And that's the main thing. And the end of July, we'll be on Patreon. And yep. We make our debut, Davey. We're going live. And I think it's going to be good. I really am. I told you, I like the part of, yes, absolutely, David. I like the part of you guys being able to call in if you don't want to ask a question. Yeah, we could still ask that question. But I like that fact, if you want to hit that button and ask the question where we just hear your audio, or ask it from the point where you're being seen now, and we're just like, you're on the stage now asking a question, or on a telephone. It's an awesome feature that Riverside offers, and it blows, in my opinion, it really adds more quality to the show. And I've told you that from day one. That's really what I want to do. I want to give us a better experience, and and it starts with that. A little thing like that could make it a difference in experience. We're getting a voice. We're putting a face with a voice now, or an avatar. Now here I am, another avatar. I got up again. But don't worry, soon the avatars will be done, and we'll be good. But I just wanted to tell you guys what was going down, what's going on. Everybody's okay. We're all good. Things are moving, and I'll talk to Jim tomorrow. I can't see why that won't go on Friday night. I guess we'll be back on with Jim Friday, and we'll ride this YouTube thing out till the wheels fall off. And Right now, they're very loose, so they're going to be falling off soon. And again, we'll figure out which ones which show we'll keep here, and everything else will be on Patreon. Everything. So there'll be no guessing game. That's it. You know, I've always said that you're either all in or you're all out, no matter what you do. I can't be half in or half out in anything. So I just want to let you guys know. Yeah, Davey, man, I'm psyched about having you pop on. You know that. And anybody else for that matter. I told Osada, man, I would love to have, like, when we're on Patreon, I'd love to have a cooking show if he can get set up, and, you know, he could figure out a way where we can have him making some of them strawberries for us. Why not? It makes it for a good show. Let's do all different types of stuff. Believe me, we got a lineup of different types of stuff. You're gonna be surprised. We got different types of things coming on, and maybe some stuff you wouldn't expect from me. Maybe you would. I don't know, but that's it, man. It's great to see you guys. Great to see see the faces, the names. I can almost hear the voices, and I can't wait to actually hear them for the ones that I don't know. And that's what makes that little choice so cool, that you could actually call in and we could put it up and everybody gets to hear your question. It's a nice little perk. We'll call it a perk. And that's it. And I think when you just go over to Patreon, you'll see that we really, truly did everything we could to keep our prices very, very low, to where it's very affordable, so we don't lose our crew, and that's that. But that being said, I just wanted to jump on tonight. I didn't want to keep you too long. I enjoy the fact everybody came in. Wish you all well. We'll be see you guys Friday, and let's get ready. We got good things coming, and I'm telling you, Timmy's on the mend, and the Irishman will be back, and we'll all be back. And I know this pisses YouTube off, so let's leave on a good song that'll piss them off. Let's